What is going on, guys? It's Adam, a.k.a. Marf, and this is Marfoogle News, the only live call-in show somewhere. Tonight we're going to be talking about meat, of course, that can't be avoided, and we are also going to be talking about everything that is happening today, and there's a lot of weird stories, so we're going to go over that, including a 66 million year old crazy beast. We'll be right back right after this. All right. What is going on, guys? My name is Adam. If you've never been here before, this is Marfoogle News. Tonight, we're going to be covering a ton of different subjects. So, just to let you know, you can always go to our website, Marfoogle News, and you can actually follow along with us. In fact, you can find it, and we organize it by thumbnail. So, you can go to Got Meat over here on the website, and when you click on that, you will get every single article, every single tweet, every single video that we show you here is backed up and archived. So we don't just say something without at least telling you where we got it. Again, by the end of the show, if you do call in to 224400 you will end up right here. In fact, if you have a channel, your information will be there. If you have a document or a picture that you want to share with the world, this is where to call. Also, we're going to have Dex pop in here for a second. Dex is my co-host. He's also going to be screening the calls, letting me know. He's got an entire screen to my left dedicated to anyone who calls, so I know what is coming and what I can share with you guys. Dex, are you there, and what is going on?
Hello, Adam. I am here, and hello, Foogle fam.
So we also have a few new things that a lot of people don't know about yet. For the last few months, we have had push notifications. A lot of people are saying that they aren't notified until days afterwards. Remember, you can go to marfooglenews.com and actually sign up for push notifications. That means that it will actually let you know when we go live on any platform through your phone directly. So don't miss out on a single show and get that. There's going to be news next week that's going to be really big, and we have a very special announcement tonight. This is pretty big, but we just got the official email that we are now approved for a global partner. Not only that, we have set the day for Saturday to have our GP stream. So this is a big deal. This is something that we've worked really hard for. I know that both Dex and I have, behind the scenes, been kind of, I guess going uphill with this and hoping that this would work. There was a lot of rule changes. And I guess we've popped out on top on this, and we are very thankful to the DLive staff and the DLive community, especially. Tons of GPs that are actually, were backing us, making sure that they knew what a great community we were. Again, it's not an easy thing to get anymore, especially here. And we're just proud to be considered and approved for it. So you guys make sure to be on Saturday's stream. It's going to be only on DLive, and it's going to be huge. I'm already trying to line up some guests. I know that Jacob is on board. I contacted Edge of Wonder. I contacted a bunch of people. So we'll see who we can get on, and it will be a really great time. All right, now that that's done, again, we have our main channel at 155,000 subscribers, Marfoogle News. We have our backup channel at 116,000 subscribers, which is here, Marfoogle TV. And, of course, here again, DLive at almost 20,000 followers on DLive. So thank you guys for all showing up. This is definitely going to be a great show. And then afterwards, we're going to be hosting Ann Lynn. So it will go over on DLive. It will go straight from our show into a Foogle family member. Now, if you have a show that you want us to host afterwards, you need to have a DLive account. You need to have a DLive channel, and then we can do that. And Lynn, we're very great, and made sure that we line this up right. So that's going to be awesome and fun. And then to get right into it, we're going to go quickly through this news. And let me just tell you, both Dex and I have been scouring. This is, again, a show where you can sit there all day trying to find out what's going on, or you can wait for us to come on because we've spent all of our hours looking and scouring for all the most important things here. Today, I will tell you, it is a lot of definitely off stories, not the stories you would expect sometimes. Again, this one caught my interest. So again, I picked a bunch of stuff that was interesting to me, and we're going to go over that right now. So it says Denver paleontologist discovers a crazy beast that lived 66 million years ago. It says for a paleontologist, that might not be strange, but he's looking forward to a time when his latest discovery goes to the Denver Museum of Nature and Science. Now, the weird part is not the story here. It's what this thing actually looks like. So I'm going to pull up the original thing here. It literally looks like some sort of El Chupacabra kind of thing. So this, again, was 66 million years ago, which is right before the dinosaurs bounced out via supposed asteroid. But this thing literally looks like some sort of like possum beast, five-fingered just creep show. I mean, like, this thing is really nuts. And then I've seen others that have kind of painted what they think it would look like, and it's straight up like a little tiny Bigfoot with on all fours. It's just really creepy. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Of course, they come out with tons of different things. We have human knowledge doubling every day now, which is absolutely nuts. We've got T-Man and some top aides questioning the accuracy of the CV toll. Now, this, again, this is not something that is, as far as the debate going on right now, the one thing is we know our country has a president that has definitely caused some very, very controversial things. So I'll let you guys go into this if you would like. You can go and actually explore this entire thing over on marfooglenews.com. But basically, to have our president go against what they are formally saying in media is a pretty big deal. So again, this is him questioning if the toll is correct. Now, we've talked about many different things here on the show, especially what they were actually officially telling us. I mean, you're talking about approved news sources saying that they are including a lot of things in there that are, kind of borderline CV stuff. So we'll go over that on another show this week as well. We've got some big news that I know is coming out next week around Monday, Tuesday. So be buckled in, or buckle up, like Jacob Israel says. And then we have a Dallas salon owner ordered to spend a week in jail for keeping salon open. Now, we've talked about this. We had a caller last week that said she went to a restaurant that actually lost its license at 3:30 p.m. At 4:30 p.m., they actually went and ate there. So obviously they kept going after the officials came by and took away their licensing. In fact, they were being fined $3,000 a day, and they said basically they were going to let it stack up, and they said they don't care. They were going to leave their restaurant open until they physically stopped them. Well, they said that they were doing all of the right rules. They were distancing, the same stuff that they're actually legally doing in Florida. They were doing that there, only having one bathroom open, cleaning it after each use. I mean, they were being extremely careful, but they were still being illegal. So at 9 o'clock that night, the police came and actually physically shut them down. So you're seeing people that would literally rack up fines up to $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 to make a point about this. And it is a big, big deal, and it is an ordeal that is now global. This is not only in the United States. We're talking about all over the world that people are kind of pushing back on it. Do you think that that is the right choice to make right now? Do you think that they were wrong by doing that and putting people in danger? Please let us know your opinion about this. As far as this, a salon, which are one of the first things that went because of the close order that you are with people, that's why I'm wearing a hat for a month, is because nobody can get a haircut. And it says a salon owner will spend a week in jail after she was found in contempt of court Tuesday for violating a court order to close her salon during the CV. So again, in addition to this, now she has that on the record. She was fined $3,500 for continuing to operate her business, Salon a la mode, and in violation of a temporary restraining order issued against the business. Wait a second. So they actually issued a restraining order against her own business so she couldn't go to her business. Is that what that says, Dex? That's pretty striking.
That's pretty extreme. That's strange and extreme.
Sure. How is that even? I mean, I'm not going to go, into the whole Constitution thing, but how can you stop somebody from going to their own property or to their own business?
Yeah, I guess the business is an entity, so they can issue some sort of citation against the entity or some sort of restriction against the entity.
I just never heard of that. That's like saying, putting a restraining order against a boat or a car or something. I mean, it's a place. I don't know. It's just weird. I've never heard of that. What do you guys think about it? Give us a call at 2244-00-MARF. It's actually scrolling down on the bottom of the screen right here. If you don't have a touchtone phone, MARF is 6273. And, of course, we have 66% of New York CV hospitalizations are people staying at home. So what does this say to a lot of you? Well, that means that apparently it doesn't, it's not necessarily people going out and getting this. It's people that are staying in home. So it says the majority of people who are still being hospitalized with the CV in New York are staying at home and not taking public transport. It was revealed on Wednesday, prompting Governor Cuomo to tell residents it's down to their personal choices to protect themselves, even though the state is in lockdown until May 15th, which I guarantee May 15th is going to be extended. I don't know where that... that's just my opinion on that. It says in a study of some 1,000 new patients over the last week, 66% were non-essential workers and were staying at home. So I guess it says more than 80% had not taken any public transport since the stay-at-home order began in March, and that number rose to 90% in New York City, but only 55% of study respondents answered. So
that's very similar to what we heard coming out of California, right? That original California study said, hey, look, we did a test of like 8,000 people in one town, and they found that, a significant number of people had it, and they had it even though they were just staying home. They didn't go out. They didn't, they were abiding by the stay-at-home orders, and they still got it.
And that's why it's opening up this can of worms and a lot of different theories on it. And again, even if you are just completely conservative with your thoughts, even the most conservative or liberal people, doesn't matter what side you're on, people are starting to wonder, like, what is going on with this? It's a very odd scenario. Of course, we're all trying to get through this together. We all just need to, at least stay positive throughout this whole thing. And I really do mean that. There's people like Jacob Israel that really push positivity every single show, even if they have to talk about something negative, making sure that, we're talking about, we've got to get through this either way. Now, it says CV latest new University of Penn model predicts 350,000 perish by the end of June if all states fully reopen. So one thing that I know is a lot of people complain about these models that are absolutely everywhere. They're computer models. They're digitally generated with different programs. And I've heard overwhelmingly from the community that they want decisions to stop being made via computer simulations. And that is just what we hear from the community. That's, again, something I've heard a million times over the last week in emails, in DMs, in messages. It says governors in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware have a lot to consider.
Skeletons in your office might not be something to brag about.
Yeah, we have it all.
But Dr. David...
That is funny. You guys have no idea. So this is a live show, and anything can happen. But that woman's voice just literally made my knee hit the table so hard the sound knocked out. Anyways, hopefully that's not, watch it, that little snippet is copyrighted or something. Anyways, it says, let me just start over. That just totally messed me up. President T-Man, that's not even right either. Let's see here. Okay, governors in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware have a lot to consider before fully reopening. If they open too quickly, that could result in more perished. according to a new model from the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania. Reopening states' economies certainly come with a cost, and that could result in more gone. It says, but some economists argue that not only can you put a value on human life, but they urge elected officials to do just that when making policy decisions. So they're saying that they should put a value on a human life. What a weird time we're in. It says the Wharton School just unveiled a model that looks at several different scenarios that could happen as states begin to lift stay-at-home orders. Quote, the economic costs have been enormous, and we are suffering really significant, unprecedented costs as a result of these policies, said Alex Arnon, senior analyst at the Penn Wharton Budget. So some are saying that it's actually hurting more, by the way. We've heard a lot of arguments saying that the lockdowns are causing more actual hurt. Of course, we know of, our friends like Planet X News. His ex-wife ended up taking her own life because of the financial problems. There's been a lot of arguments about, what is worse if we lose people from this or lose people from that. Either way, it's human life. It should be valued. So this is yet another study that is deciding for us. Should that be the way, or do you think that there's a better way? Give us a call at 2244-00-MARV. Then, of course, we have the CV in Pittsburgh. Researcher, okay, this one I've got to be careful here because this is really crazy. Apparently, this was a murder-suicide, and it was a gentleman, and this is CBS Local. This is CBS News, and this is absolutely nuts. So this gentleman was close to making, quote, very significant findings related to CV. That's, of course, what another person said. It says, out of Ross Township, PA, a researcher killed in an apartment murder-suicide was close to, quote, making very significant findings related to the CV. Now, this is, again, CBS. So this is something that they are saying out in formal, just straight up out there. It says 2 shootings happened over the weekend in Ross Township appear to be this. It says on May 2nd, police said 37-year-old Bing Lau was found perished in his home on Elm Court on apparent gunshot wounds to his dome, neck, and torso. So apparently somehow he got all 3 of those. It says investigators say they now believe it was a homicide. Well, that's kind of seems like something. So again, you guys can go and dig into this. We're actually going to probably put out we're trying to figure out a Vimeo system. We want to put out some edited videos that are truly like you guys can access them and go into the deep, dark stuff that honestly the majority of people don't want to hear. It says Bing was on the verge of making very significant findings towards understanding the cellular mechanisms that underlie SARS-CoV-2 infection and the cellular basis of the following complications. We will make an effort to complete what he started in an effort to pay homage to his scientific excellence, the department said on its website. His loss will be felt through the entire scientific community. Please keep his family, friends, and colleagues in your thoughts. Thank you. And then again, so then they say a second man was also found perished in his car on Charlemagne Circle near Elm Court. Police say it appears he passed from a self-inflicted wound to the head. So it says, according to police, the 2 victims knew each other. Investigators say they believe the male found in his car must have got the other guy and then took himself. Yeah, I'll just let that sit with you for a minute. Yeah. Nothing strange there. On other notes, if you guys would like to help us, earthing is something that I've done for a long time. You guys can support us by going to marfooglenews.com/earthing. It is earthing or grounding products that you can take and you can have at home. Okay, so check this out. The American meat shortage is pushing prices to unprecedented heights. Here's how it can affect your grocery bill. This is absolutely nuts. Okay, so the meat shortage is now what everybody is talking about, or at least that is what the media is talking about. Is this something that you guys are even directly worried about? Because a lot of the stuff that is coming to me, it does show that people are genuinely afraid of running out of food. But is that really the case? A lot of this, it seems like all of the medias are pushing that we are going to completely run out of meat. And then what is the actual fact? Well, people started sending us pictures, and again, we are seeing lacks of meat in almost every store. But is that because they're not making it, or is it there some line in the chain of, I guess, the logistics of it that is having problems? We obviously heard from mainstream that 60,000 chickens were just taken out because there was no place to process them. So what do we have to do to fix this? Again, now T-Man, our commander-in-chief, he actually signed a bill to push companies to keep producing meat. So what else is there to do with this? Is it going to get worse? Well, a lot of people are actually afraid that by about 3 or 4 months down the road, we could actually see some incredibly serious food shortages. So I guess my point to you guys is no matter what is going on, no matter if it's going to get better or worse, that people need to prepare responsibly. And that doesn't mean hoarding enough for 4 years of stuff. But honestly, you've got the U.S. government, the Department of Homeland Security, telling you need at least 6 months to a year of food. Is that going to be possible right away? Most people don't even have the ability to get their next week of food right now because of what is going on. So again, there are ways you can do it. That's why some of the food banks are so overwhelmed. People are actually sending 4 or 5 members of their family separately to food banks to try to, hoard food bank food. I would say as far as everybody here, we all need to help out each other. I would say go into the Discord group, and I would say just food related. Try to, we can all help other family members out. We can help in our family look for people that, you can actually ask, because this is going to be really bad. And I'm predicting that it's not going to get better unless something drastic changes. So they may get us right to the point of it and then come out with some miracle. We don't know. So it says experts expect prices to skyrocket in the coming weeks as meat processing plants across the U.S. are forced to close due to the CV. It says pork and beef prices could increase by as much as 20% compared to 2019. So if it's $2 more compared to $5, it's $7 or $8. Is that going to be, such a horrible deal? Probably not. What is a horrible deal, though, is if we legitimately start seeing, all of these places close down for one reason or the other. Seeing, actual emergencies declared because of food. That is pretty crazy. What if you have all the money in the world but can't find food? That is what the long-term worry is for some of these things. Dex, do you have anything to say about this?
Well, certainly, I think the most important thing you said earlier is making sure you're prepared. But at the same time, it's very difficult when you can't store it. You can't find storage right now if you're deciding to buy like a freezer or something like that. It is a challenge. It's a conundrum too, because the more the media tells people that there's going to be a shortage, then the more everybody runs out, right, to buy it and to store up. And the real way you win here is to do this long before, the masses do, right? So, and you should only do it in a sense, like you said, just to supply what you need, not to get more than you're going to use, and not to get enough that you're going to spoil it and it's going to go to waste, right? You definitely don't want to be wasting meat when we have a shortage of meat. The big challenge I think we have is, what happens next, right? This is meat now. And I've heard from my grocer that they think that vegetables are going to be next because they're getting vegetables that are being left on the crops that are falling apart or rotting because they don't have enough staff to pull them. So they're expecting those prices to go up. And, we've heard other stories. We've got the processed stuff that's been going on too. So that's more the economical in the package type meat and things like that. That's been going up or becoming scarce. So we've had a call, was it last night, the one about the wheat, and wheat is used everywhere. And that wasn't just wheat that, preppers buy for storage, but if that's happening to all of the wheat storage, if it's being full of mold from last year's crops or the previous season's crops that they've been holding to start using now, and we can't use them because they're molded. Let's see what happens. Maybe that was an isolated incident. I doubt it. We'll have to see what comes out as the weeks progress. We might start to hear that that's going to be the next thing that's hitting, and that will go across a lot of food products because it's used everywhere.
And you look at all these different things, cereals and different actual products use wheat as a base. So like you said, there's multiple things that actually use that as a base. So if that is at the root of, 50, 60 different foods, then all 50, 60 of those foods actually don't have one of their main key ingredients. So is this going to be a famine? We're not yet there, but what I will say is everything that is coming out right now, which there's a few movies that we will suggest and we'll end up putting on our website that you guys should watch. The Plandemic, that's a good one to at least watch. Mikovits was just responded to by the president, essentially saying that he watched her documentary or the interview that she did. And then, of course, there's that mini documentary that she did as well, talking about it. Then, of course, there's all of the stuff with London Real that has been extremely crazy. One thing, you have to pick apart the real things from the false things. You've got people involved that have done some really messed up stuff in the past. So you can't 100% believe anything and everything. But I would think, in my opinion, 95% of what they're saying is true. So there's a lot of stuff that's going on right now that we all need to take a magnifying glass and look at it ourselves. You really want to do that as much as you possibly can. As far as this, what do you guys think about this? I'm going to jump over to the chat here. Stewie, do you have ghetto milk? Jojo says true. Jason78, what's going on? We've got Mike Riley here. What's going on? No V Scenes says meme 521. Lone Wolf says my brother smokes. Let's see here. It's going so fast, I can barely get it. I know how you guys feel. Somebody says, Angela says, agreed, Adam. Amy R says, plant your seeds. A great point. So another thing is the whole thing with this freezer thing, the previous topic that we were just talking about, is they were cutting off the sales of those freezers, and even the ones that were, they were bought up or they were grabbed by somebody else, which is really crazy. A lot of people are complaining that is not right. So say if you wanted to, they say they're doing it because they don't want to encourage hoarding. But I'm sorry, prepping and hoarding are two very close things. And I would say if it's a situation like this, humans should have the right, and I hate to say this, but we should almost have a right to hoard, but not, I guess that sounds bad. Everybody's pissed off at the people that hoarded all the toilet paper in the beginning, right? But at the same time, I guess there's a difference. It's a thin line between preparing your whole family for a certain amount of time and hoarding. Hoarding would be like getting 40 years of sanitizer that you're never, ever going to use. And then 40 million other people didn't get that sanitizer. But at the same time, if there's enough food for a year, that's going to be a lot of food. Is that considered hoarding? Well, kind of, because they're considering it that. But look at what DHS physically told us in September of 2018. They said every American needs to have 6 months to a year of food and water. How much is a year worth of food, especially if you're talking about per person and then you have a family of 5? That is nuts. That's a lot of food. So if you had the ability to get that food, you would then be called a hoarder. You can't put it anywhere. If you had a year worth of meat, you would have to have a freezer, and you're not allowed to buy one. So it's kind of, I guess they don't call that a catch-22. Does it? I mean, would that count as
It sort of is.
too?
It sort of is. But the other thing I would say to that is it's all about timing too, right? If you buy enough toilet paper to support your house for 6 months, but you don't do it when we're in a shortage, you do it, a year before when is no shortage. There's nothing wrong with that, right? That's more being prepared. It's when all of a sudden everyone has to ration, or we have to figure out how to deal with a shortage. You don't want to be the one person that says, well, my needs are greater than the one beside me, and necessarily grab 6 months worth of toilet paper off the shelf when everybody's in line to get it and you're grabbing it all, right? And there's no more.
And somebody made a great, one person said, I live in a motor home and I have a 3 cubic feet freezer. So you can't even hold enough stuff. I mean, that's really small. I mean, you're talking about, even if you had a freezer like that, what if for the people that have small refrigerators or enough to carry 2 or 3 days, then you really can't do anything with that. But again, at the same time, most of preppers have stuff that you do not have to be dependent on refrigerated foods and things, stuff that will keep. On the other hand, somebody also said, what was that? said, who has the money to afford that? Not a lot. And that's another point that's happening there. And the people that can afford it can't buy something to keep it. It's very strange. I mean, this is some pretty weird stuff. Let's see here. Jojo says, I have a freezer, but it's not big. Yeah, that's what most people are in that position. Wild Child. Hold on. Wild Child says that they had a cow and they had it butchered and their freezer is now full. So they've actually owned a cow and got it butchered so they would have extra meat. That's pretty crazy. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, that is. My mom did that. She had she split a cow with somebody. Their freezer was full. The other thing I was thinking about is whether or not it's the timing so much, or if you were in charge. Let's say you knew there was a meat shortage coming up, and you're in charge, and you know that if you don't do anything, it's going to snowball. In other words, it may be a little bit of an issue, or it may be an inconvenience, or it may be. You may be able to manage it in a way that it doesn't have a famine effect, right? Or if you don't do anything, it's going to snowball into chaos where everybody's going to go out and buy, as much meat as they can. Everybody's going to get as many freezers as they can. And then you're going to not going to have any meat for 6 months or 8 months or whatever, just because it's going to get too extreme. Would you make the decision to actually pull back and say you can't have freezers and you can only buy 2 packages at a time? I know people like us, some people want to say don't infringe the freedoms, but then on the flip side, there is a consequence to that.
Yes, but also they're infringing on a lot of freedoms because the people that sell those freezers, is it not their right to be able to sell it? They've put their life into that freezer company and now they can't sell it. So I think it's pretty nuts that that's the case. So I guess we'll be following it. Now, of course, it says U.S. will use, quote, every tool to get ex-soldiers back from Venezuela. I knew it. This is you updated this. This is great. So remember I said, what's going to happen to these guys?
Yeah.
Are we going to care about it?
And we said it wasn't us, but sure enough, we're going to go get them, right?
Yeah. Isn't that funny? So it wasn't us, but we are literally gonna use every tool at our disposal to get them back. So it says the U.S. will use every tool available to secure the release of 2 former American soldiers believed to be held in Venezuela. Secretary of Mike Pompeo said on Wednesday. So it says. Venezuelan officials claimed this week that 2 former U.S. Special Soldiers, Luke Denman and Aaron Berry, were among the mercenaries taken into custody. So hold on, though. So they were taken into custody, but they said that it was on an attack. Like they were coming in with mercenaries, and they said they took out 8 other guys. So. Did we just try to take out Venezuelan leader by force? Paid for by Guaido? That's pretty crazy. Think about it. That's a straight up coup. Absolutely nuts. Okay, so Kelly2334, thank you. And I've got a bunch of here piling up, so I wanted to make sure I say as much as I can here. Chips are fallen. Sir drives a lot. Rachel 420, Luna Soul, thank you guys for the lemons. RV Living, April Osborne, thank you guys for the diamond. Says, watch the movie, quote, Unlocked. You will freak. So again, that was RV Living saying, watch the movie Unlocked. I've never heard of that before. Grace for you too. Gone Girl 777. Thank you guys for the diamonds. Youper Girl, Carnage Harnage, Vibran, Robin 119. Thank you guys for the lemons. Bogstown, Gone Girl, Mrs. Marla Stininger. Thank you. BP Earthwatch video about knock and grab. Anyone? Says Gone Girl. I haven't watched the last couple from BP. I've been so crazy busy. BP, I will try to get BP Earthwatch on the show on Saturday. I forgot about that. Wisdom 62, Cuban Warrior Princess, thank you guys. Let's see here. Carnage Harnage, again, thank you. Thank you, Adam and Dex, for the hard time. And no power, no freezer. Try canning food with mason jars, says Bogstown. That's what I said. Like if you're really prepping, then you want to stay away from anything regarding power, especially right now. The Wahiki Sisters, CEO of YouTube and founder of 23andMe. Yes, Tuck Pup. Actually, we covered that quite extensively when there was that whole 23andMe, and I say it that way because I'm sure those are filtered ones right there. Okay, and then I do want to pop over real quick. I know there's somebody, I think Amy R. I'm going to pop in and see what you ended up doing because I saw somebody respond, but I didn't see what you actually did. Archives the Truth? Whoa. Okay, so couple big ones here. Thank you, Archives the Truth. Unnecessary. You don't have to go that big, but thank you, and we really appreciate it. Did a $50 super chat. Archives, we really appreciate that. Again, you don't have to do that, and if you can or can't, please don't. Vinecki Potashio, what is going on? Sup, Adam? Dex, this is like the fourth time I've seen sex instead of Dex in like the last 2 days. It says, sup, Adam, sex, and the mods. And Foogle fan
Love that
worldwide.
autocorrect.
Yeah, because it's S-D-E-X, or if they just miss it. J.R. Pale Horse, 2 die of CV-19 in meth lab explosion, LOL. Yeah, well, again, you could say that about a lot of different things, right? Oh, that's funny. That is pretty funny. I don't know if you guys get that. Trinity Red Pill or Blue Pill, and it's probably real news, but it's like they probably died because of the explosion. Dr. Judy Mikovits, virologist and scrubbed from the internet as watching video. A YouTube channel was deleted. I have a screenshot. Trinity, I totally believe you. That's what was funny. I was watching part 1, and part 2 was next to it when I loaded the exact same search, and then part 2, or something that was called part 2, was deleted. And I think part 2 was actually somebody that re-uploaded part 1. I thought it was weird that stayed on there for as long as it did, if it's still there. Again, pretty crazy. Deaf Wish, thank you so much. I appreciate that. You can always write something with that. Brianna Audrey, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for following. Bob225ish, Jamie Thomas, Orlando's videos. Thank you guys for subscribing. Mr. Brightside1111, thank you for being the last one out last night. Hope I get to meet the Marfoogle family in the future. Love y'all. All right, so again, we're gonna get in some callers when they are. We're also gonna be trying some new different stuff. So you guys, it's gonna be pretty exciting. Okay, and then if you guys are missing notifications, remember we have push notifications. You can actually get them from our website, marfooglenews.com. It is literally the same thing you would see on all the big websites, only we actually have it. So you can actually get push notifications that we are going live. The only time it does it is if we're going live. So it's a great thing to have. I think, Dex, if we do put like a very special article or something like that on our website, can't we use it for that as well?
Yes, our push notifications.
Yes.
Yes, yeah, those can go out on anything we do on our website.
And so you're maybe max going to get one to three at the most a day, most likely one a day or 5 days a week or whatever. So just know the only reason I don't do these is because I get too many alerts. We only do when we go live or if we upload an article or something like that, and that's usually very rare. So let's see here. And then we've got breaking down the absolutely bat-crazy botched coup attempt against the Venezuela's Maduro. Dex, do you want to cover this one and explain what happened?
Yeah, this is a long one. I think the main thing here, I wanted to make it available for folks to go back and read because it's a really long article. But it's interesting to hear the insight and what happened in this botched coup, as they call it. And it really questions, like, who was really behind it and what was being spent. And, because if, like I said the other day, if it was us, I don't think it would have failed. I think, we don't normally do things like that and fail. At least, when we do it, when we go in and take out somebody, which we've done. T-Man did that. We saw it. What was his name in from Ryan? Remember that happened not too long ago. Soleimani, I believe it was.
Yeah, Soleimani.
Yeah. So like that kind of stuff, we don't fail at. Like when our military does something, if it's something strategic like that, we don't usually fail at that, or we don't go down in this type of fashion. So it's kind of interesting. Take a look at it later. It's going to be on the website, but it's a good, interesting read, and interesting detailed take on what happened there.
It almost, something is just fishy about this. It just doesn't look like it was almost like on purpose that these guys got caught and let themselves get caught or something, like they wanted information or what. Oh my gosh, did you see the mask that they were using? That's like, I don't know if you guys can see this. I'll try to blow it up and let's see, partial amphibious. Okay, so I blew it way up so you guys could see this. They look like halves of those weird like chupacabra monster things. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? It's got the nose, like those are really creepy. Almost like like some of the masks that were in The Purge, not the main mask, but there was some other ones that were really creepy. I'm trying to think of what that animal is. It's in folklore, or what that monster is with that mouth. Just really creepy, that's for sure. So they were wearing that and got caught. What's really kind of sad is those masks, the people that were wearing them are gone. Let's see here. Yeah, they had some pretty serious gear there, but how would they think that they were going to get away, 8 guys? Who knows? T-Man, White House drafting legal blueprint for moon mining. We've talked about this before. It's now official. It says, as part of a new deal called Artemis Accords. The Artemis Accords. That sounds like something out of a fictional movie. We are literally going to go up and mine the moon, according to the White House. It says the T-Man administration is reportedly putting together a legal blueprint for mining on the moon as part of the Artemis Accords, a new U.S.-sponsored international agreement. So this is going to be with every other country in the world. It says the Artemis Accords propose, quote, safety zones that would surround future moon bases to prevent interference from rival nations or companies operating nearby, according to sources familiar with the pact. Do you guys realize what's happening? We are literally going to have crazy stuff on the moon. You're going to see people moving around there. And by the way, we already have stuff up there, right? According to a lot of people. And in my opinion, all those things flying over the moon, that the videos, those I bet are real now. And it's because, a lot of people have said that there's been a base on the far side of the moon for a long time. Russia says that they're going to be building a laser officially on the moon for asteroids. They also say that the launch pad for Mars will be on the moon. So they're saying under this accord, and now the new Space Force, everything else that's going on, this is like out of a cartoon where they build a laser that's going to destroy Earth or something. they are going to split up territories on the moon so they're going to have borders on the moon. What does that mean? That means most likely people are going to be occupying the moon. And this is going to be accepted as, official facts, right? People occupying the moon. This is absolutely crazy. I mean, it happens so subtly. We've grown up, and I'm sure if you are even in, no matter what generation you're in, you're thinking, wow, this is really getting crazy. If you can imagine somebody who lived from 1900 to 2000, how much changed in that period of time, then think about 2000 to 2100. Heck, think about 2000 to 2020. That 20 years, 1/5, all of that new technology. In 2000, people were using payphones. I mean, yes, they had basic, cell phones, whatever. They had some basic stuff. In fact, they had, you're talking back then, you're talking pager era. But since then, now we all have personal PCs in our pockets. We have all sorts of technology, VR. I mean, this isn't even where it ends. Imagine in 2100, and it is very fascinating. I know a lot of you are fascinated by where some of these documentaries put us in 2100. They say that we are going to run out of a lot of resources between now and just 2040. So this is pretty wild. We're seeing animals die off. All sorts of things are happening. So we'll see what happens, but this is nuts. We're literally going to see flashes of bright light from the moon because there's going to be people walking around up there, according to this. I know some of you don't believe anything about it, but again, they would at least put on a show up there. Watch, it's going to get a whole lot weirder. So they're going to mine the moon. Some could say, well, it's always about money. It says the safety zones, which would vary in size depending on the operation, would help coordination between other groups in space without claiming territory as sovereign. So are they saying they're trying to do it without claiming parts on the moon? Are they trying to separate it without saying we own this part of the moon? Am I getting this right, Dex? The odds is if you are going to be coming near someone's operations and they declared safety zones around it, then they need to reach out to them in advance, consult, and figure out how you can do that safely for everyone.
Right.
Wow.
That's what it is. And it does sound, it's definitely territorial, right?
This is so weird. I keep thinking about what my kids are going to grow up in. It's nuts. My 5-year-old is going to possibly see the year 2100. Is that weird? Somebody born now will see 2100, the year 2100. In fact, who knows? Some of our teenagers right now might make it to 2100. 86, say if I was... It's freaky. It's freaky to even think about death. I mean, if I made it to, say, what was that? If I made it to 2070, I would be an old man. It's just weird to see out there that, a death day is ahead of you.
What if they double the life expectancy?
Well, I think that secretly a lot of us, we hope that somehow they're going to make our lives triple the length or something, or they come out with something. But if that does happen, we're going to be in a very weird world on that. What if they have that and they don't want to release it until they have full control of everybody because they don't want everybody living forever or something? I don't know. It's a weird thought.
Well, yeah, it really goes against the whole notion of how do we manage the population of the Earth, right? They've got that notion that there's a point that there's too many people, and yet we want to do things to extend that life.
It's all craziness. Now, Pentagon announces new mission for secretive space drone. The U.S. Air Force said Wednesday it would be sending its high-tech X-37B space drone back into orbit this month for a 6-month trip for the reusable vehicle that maneuvers around the Earth on secretive missions. What the heck does that thing do? Last time it went up, it landed, it was up there longer than any other time. You're talking about a year in space. It says the X-37B orbital test vehicle, which looks like a small version of the manned space shuttles, retired in 2011, will be launched from Cape Canaveral in Florida May 16th, the Air Force said. So this will be in 10 days. There are going to be, or 9 days, launching this thing. So watch for fireworks. We don't know what's going to happen there. It says once in orbit, it will deploy a small Falcon Sat-8 research satellite, and for the first time also carry a service module that will expand its capacity for experiments. So again, with these launches, we never know what they're actually putting up there, but we'll see. It says another test for U.S. Navy researchers involves transforming solar power into radio frequency microwave energy, which could then be transmitted to the ground. Just to show you guys, this is what I think is nuts. Another test for the U.S. Navy researchers involves transforming solar power into radio frequency microwave energy, which could then be transmitted to the ground.
That's Tesla tech, right?
That's something about that is pretty weird, but whatever. We'll see. Speaking of tech and everything else, let's see here. Nuts. Everybody is on their computers 24/7 now. You guys should have NordVPN or another one, but Nord is one of the most advanced. Obviously, it is one of the best as well. Again, you guys can actually go through us, and we will get a small percentage. You will get a huge savings, upwards of over 70% on their best plan, and it can cover up to 6 devices at the same time. It doesn't let them log you. It doesn't let them give you those creepy directed ads. Again, this is up to 6 simultaneous devices with one account. So it's really affordable, and it is protecting you from stuff. But again, Megan and others got information out of China because of VPNs. You can also use it to your advantage as well. It's very affordable, and it is the best way to protect yourself. If you've worked your whole life to build up your credit score, why have it taken away in a split second by a hacker? MarfoogleNews.com/VPN. Thank you guys for supporting us. Okay, and then let's just recap. You guys can go right here to see any of those articles. You can actually go and spend much more time over them. Tonight we're going to be pretty quick because we're going to get some more callers in here. So Dex, if you want to open up the phones, I'm going to shout out some people over on DLive, and then we will get that going. Let's see here. We've got Mrs. May Alien. Thank you guys. Kelly2334 has been extremely active. Gone Girl, thank you for the Ninja Guinea pulling up on us. Thank you again, Gone Girl. You're going nuts with diamonds. I appreciate that. We definitely cannot say thank you enough to the folks that have supported us through this entire thing. Miss May Allen, thank you so much. Please say prayers, Hibby. Maybe that said for the hubby. Jesus is coming soon. Get your heart right, says Mrs. May Allen. Kahaja, and I always screw up your name. Kahaja. I think you literally donate just to see me try to say your name. Kahaja Fly Girl says GoldenEye. I wonder if you mean like the 007, like oh, good call. Kelly2334, as far as the space launch stuff. Mrs. May Allen, Jesus is coming, don't get left behind. Aussie's Walkabout says, congrats on the GP, thank you. Praying for the Marfoogle fam. Can Canadians get your stuff, Adam? Love you all. Lady Green Eyes, Canadians can. Well, especially with a VPN, but I don't know what stuff you mean. But again, you can look at stuff with a VPN and put yourself wherever you want. Nurse Betty, thanks for all the hard work. Appreciate the whole fam. And I know I'm going to go over to this and I'm going to physically pull up DLive, so it might get choppy for 1 second. Just want to make sure. I want to see. I know I can't see some people. And earlier this week, I was talking to a young lady who felt like her saying or her super chat was not said. And the thing is that it was on Marfoogle News, and we actually didn't have it connected to that. So I missed a lot of people. But just to make sure you guys know, if you do tangibly support the channel, we make sure to put that in the scroller down below. So if we do miss you, at least you will be on the next like 2 or 3 shows on the bottom scroller. Let's see here. It's gonna play myself here. There we go. Vit Varg, thank you, Johnny Doom. When you hear "trust me," run from the government. You know, the famous saying is, Dex, do you remember the saying? Was it Reagan that said, I'm here from the government and I'm here to help, or whatever?
That's sort of it. Yeah, and that's the worst things you want to hear.
Yeah, well, there's also, somebody said that recently. It was General Milley, and he was at the FEMA headquarters, and he said, I'm here from the Army, and we're here to help. And I recorded that and put it on Twitter. It was really scary. Mama Sherry, 1969. Thank you for being here, West Mall. End Times, it just coming out of nowhere. Again, Mrs. May Allen, thank you so much for your support. Nurse Betty, Amy R. So I wanted to make sure, because I missed a lot of that. So Amy R., thank you for 4 Ninja Guineas. And I wish I could say what they said. If you did say stuff, we will end up putting it on the scrollers. Looks like almost 5 Ninja Guineas. So thank you so much, Amy R. And then April Osborne, don't do that. And Mrs. May Allen, April Osborne, thank you. But you support us by modding. I just hope you know that is an actual tangible help to us, making sure that the chat is safe and everything else. Go Hawks, Zippy Moons, Blue Collar Dan, Kelly2334, thank you guys. Gone Girl is number 1 right now. That's awesome, Gone Girl. But just know you don't have to be here. And Nurse Betty, thank you so much for showing up again as well. For you guys that tangibly support us, we do appreciate it. We are on our way somewhere, and I think that, Saturday, even with Global Partner, that is another example of our kind of effort and the work that we are putting in. So I'm really excited about that. I can't tell you, because I really did feel like for a minute that, we were part of this community. We've supported the community more than anything. We've supported a lot of small streamers. So it just felt really great to have them finally reach out and say, we earned it. If anybody earned a global partner, I think it is us, because we hit the requirements immediately. But that didn't get us GP. It was working and becoming part of the community, which I really, really, really love. There's always things you don't like about things, but as far as the people here, there's a lot of really solid people that love each other and genuinely support. What's really crazy is when you're a new streamer on this platform and say, it's my first time, you get greeted by like 20 people, and it's just nuts. Gone Girl, it's for all of us, best community ever, the fam. Exactly. And I hope you guys understand. You guys are helping this advance. And I really wish we had the ability to fight some of this stuff. I've seen people that team up against censorship, but they're actually not. They're just kind of taking it to say they are. We really do need to do a lot differently. Kim Strickland, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Okay, let's see here. All right, and then up first, we have a first-time caller. Looks like we have Jeff. Jeff, you are live. Make sure to call in at 224400 Jeff, you are live on Marfoogle News. What is going on?
Hey, Hey, Adam. This is Scarecrow. I've been following you since you started this. I love you guys.
Hey,
I'm not doing so well right now. I got sick like Monday, and I'm not having most of the symptoms. I went to the hospital. They refused to test me for that and kicked me out. And I got to say thank you to Kristar and Aaliyah for being so nice to me during this.
Yeah, they are great girls. That's why we hosted Kelsey last night, and we always host Kristar. Kristar, of course, is a well-known paranormal investigator, but they are just sweethearts, aren't they?
They are. My uncle is over in China. He was teaching English. He was ex-military, and about when this happened, we lost contact with him, so I think he's pretty much dead. Because he would talk to me like once a week and tell me what's going on, and I haven't talked to him since, I don't know, December. That's the last time I talked to him.
Well, I hope that's not the fact.
He's too. He told us this was going to happen, though. I also saw that I was on another news TV show, and I saw that they talked about this whole, Kung Flu pandemic and about the Harlequin medication from 2003. Well, it fits it to a T. They even blame China, where viruses come from, is what they said.
Well, they also.
I was like, wow, really?
By the way, Scarecrow, they in 2005, which we covered last night, Dr. Fauci's team wrote about it. Again, that was an official document that it was an inhibitor of the SARV or SARS too. Yeah. So, but yeah. So I don't know how much.
That's crazy.
So again, and then
I love your channel, and I wish I could do more to support you, but I'm taking care of two people who are really at risk, and I'm probably not doing so good. I'm gonna see if I weather this out. I don't have any of the breathing problems, but I have like the lower GI. I have chest pains. I'm not sleeping. I have a low fever. So I don't know if that's what I have or if I have something else nasty.
Well,
just not
either way,
good all the way around.
One thing I would suggest is there's a new app thing, and I guess it's like K-Health. But my sister used it, and you pay $19 and you can actually face-to-face with the doctor, and then you tell them your symptoms. You can even put the webcam on whatever you've got, and they can tell you. It's basically really cheap, but you actually get to talk to a real doctor. I'm not advertising for it, but I'm just saying I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And she told me about it, and that's something where obviously not everybody has insurance, not everybody has money to it. I don't have insurance, so I was going to try it next time I get hurt or sick. So, well, thank you for calling in, Scarecrow.
Everything about you. We have such a similar history about being homeless, about we're the same age. I'm a Generation X baby too. And you just bring a lot of joy and a lot of good news to us. And I finally am glad I got to talk to you.
Well, thank you for calling in, Scarecrow. And please call in again, all right? And let us know how you end up and if you're going to be okay?
Yeah. God bless you. God bless the Foogle fam. Ventura, California.
God bless you. Have a good day. If you guys can, you guys know what to do if somebody's sick. I did forget to say this, though. Just nothing in this show should be considered legal, medical, or financial advice. The views of the callers can differ considerably and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of myself, Dex, or anyone else who helps the show, including the beautiful mods, except for Bones. You should always do your own research and consult with professionals. The internet is full of fake news. Please take everything with a grain of salt. Just kidding, Bones. Thanks. Up next, we have Awakened by the Looking Glass. Awakened, you are now live on Marfoogle News. What's going on?
Hey, how are you?
Good. So you got some you've got some topics to cover here, and I'll just pull this up. It says that Soylent Green is people. See this video. So I'm going to pull this up. Can you explain?
First of all, anybody that's got a weak stomach, they might want to look away for a little bit. But your topic, of course, that you have tonight, it kind of goes along with this. I've been wondering for like the last year, every single time that I would open certain meats to cook it, I couldn't eat it. And it just did not look like regular, normal, what I was used to opening up. And so then I go back to that movie with Charlton Heston back in the 70s. And if anybody hasn't seen it, they might want to watch it. With everything being limited right now in the stores, it might be something that they are really, truly putting into play. This was an article back in 2014 that Quantum of Conscious, this actually played out yesterday. And it's kind of creepy.
So I'm going to pull.
If anybody wants to go and look at it, it kind of makes your stomach turn.
Well, so I guess I'm trying to. So is this your video that I can play, or
no?
Okay,
it is not. It is on YouTube, and there's Dex has a link to it.
Okay, and
it probably isn't something that you'd want to play live anyways. It's something, per discretion as far as people's stomachs being okay.
Celebrity tissue to make and sell salami.
Yeah.
I'm super confused. So.
In my eyes, I'm thinking that they have been replacing our normal food supply with other things.
Well, lots going on with the meat processors. I don't know. Eat celebrity meat.
I know.
I'm so confused. Make the Ellen. Oh my gosh! So you're saying that their DNA or something? I don't get it. Are they?
Yeah, they're tissue. They're tissue samples, and it's kind of like the tube babies.
Oh gosh. Let's make.
Sorry, we have a real bad lag, and so I can't hardly hear where I'm talking.
Well, this looks like a joke. So what they're saying is that
it does.
This meat is made out of a celebrity, and they're saying that they donate samples and then they grow meat out of that sample, so you can pretend you're eating James Franco. Like, that's just weird.
Right, and it's made to look like it's a joke, that's what I thought at first too. But the points that this guy makes on the video is, they have to have some sort of affiliation with them, or else they wouldn't have them on their website. They would be sued, they would be this and that. And this is back in 2014 that this was put up. They have their own webpage.
Well, there's a lot of web pages. I'm definitely going to go down that rabbit hole now. If that was on the dark web, I would almost believe it.
Right, and I mean, it may not even be anything as far as like that being real. It's a thought to go into our minds. Our heads in the sand it doesn't need to be that way anymore. We have to actually face things that are going to be happening. Yeah. And that's definitely a factor that could be into play.
Well, so what I did as well is Awakened, I pulled up your channel here. It looks like you have 46 subscribers.
My native video channel.
That's okay.
I have so many videos that are almost done. I just can't ever get the courage, I guess, to do anything.
Well, that's
But there's
change.
one, the plasma storm, that was incredible. My daughter filmed that in Texas.
Is it okay if we play it?
Absolutely.
Okay, 1 second. I'm turning you down for 1 second.
Personal pictures I've taken, and I've got some crazy, wicked pictures.
Okay, let me unmute this. I'm going to ask you to be quiet for just a second.
Sure thing.
Weird. It's like it's lightning, but it's also like there's just constant flashes.
Like panels.
Well, that could be rolling shutter from the camera, but that is weird.
It was just kind of crazy that she actually got it on film. They don't like to listen to me. And so when they come to me with things, it's kind of, lets me know that they were actually listening a little bit. Because that one got her, because just the way that it was, I mean, granted, it could have been the camera as well, but it's just so weird the way that the vertical lines go in it. And
well, one thing, so
this was back whenever, remember in Las Vegas, they were doing a lot of the drops.
Well,
I don't know how I could actually say that, but like the stuff in California was happening.
Yes.
Stuff in Louisiana was happening all at one time about a year and a half ago.
Yeah. The blue in the sky and everything.
And that was around the same time.
Yeah. So I will say, just to explain, when you see those squares, the one thing I'm noticing is that the lines match up with the angle of it. Rolling shutter kind of works on how when the cameras when they're rolling. If you have any DSLR, different high quality 4K cameras have pretty bad rolling shutter, and lightning specifically. Just like if you point your camera at an LED, if it's at a different hertz, then it actually flashes. That one though, I would highly suggest you guys go and look at Awakened by the Looking Glass Reflection. So Awakened, thank you so much for calling in tonight.
Absolutely. I've got so many things I want to say, but I just kind of kept it down to that one topic for tonight. But it's nice to actually come on live, and I love you guys all, including the Mar fam.
Well, thank you. And what a lot of people do is they'll make a video for something that they'll want to share on the show, and then call in again. You don't have to just call in once. So, and then let us know about a video,
right.
and we'll check it out.
I've tried before. I think I've learned what to do now, though.
Once you learn the trick, it's not that hard. All right, you have a good night. Yeah, people, I don't get. Some people say they try for months to get in. It's really not that hard, but you definitely have to do it early in the show. All right, let's see here. And if you would like, and then there's some nights where we don't get calls, and I'm just like, people try for months, but then there's been a few cases where we didn't have any callers. All right, Lady Lazuli.
Wow.
Yes, this is Lady Lashley.
I'm sorry?
This is Lady Lashley.
Lashley
lady.
Okay, like that. Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Lady Lashley.
Yeah,
go ahead.
So I was just calling kind of to get other people's information also if they have the same situation. I work at a local hospital, and they are forcing every single employee to get CV tested for both the nose and a blood draw. And so I was very much against it. I wrote a letter to administration. I made it very clear to my direct supervisor and the department manager that I did not want to have this done, and they said that I had to get it done or I would lose my job.
So they are, yeah. Sorry, they're actually telling you that if you don't do it, then they will fire you. Did they put it in those words? Did they put anything in writing?
Well, I have a copy of an email that they instructed managers to have one of those things is an answer to give back to someone who's against it. So I have documentation.
That is
so, and go ahead.
No, that's absolutely nuts. And I'm sorry. At the same time, John X Army is in the chat, and he says to call. He says people are Callie is pulling people out of their homes. So I'm gonna get him up next as well. So what are you gonna do about that? I guess, are you gonna do it, or are you saying that?
I got it done today, and it made me very upset. I was so upset and crying that I had to take an hour off of work because I just couldn't calm down enough to concentrate on my work because I was so upset that my rights are being trampled upon.
Well, I guess, can you find a loophole? Can you get a lawyer? If you really don't want to do it, then there should be some sort of option.
Right. I mean, I can get a lawyer, but the trouble is I don't have a lot of money. I mean, so I'm a single mom, so I'm kind of in a tough position. I have to keep my job, and you know how it is with the lockdown. There's not a lot of jobs available right now.
Well, it sounds like you're most likely going to have to. So if there's any, which by the way, we have a bunch of lawyers in the Foogle family. If anybody wants to just pro bono give her some advice, you guys feel free to connect in the Discord. You guys can email us if you want to reach out to, and we can connect you guys. That's of course if they reach out to us and they want to connect with you, because I would think that there's got to be some sort of solution with anything, even forced. Via nations, they actually have loopholes and things like that. I would think that they would not be able to fire you over that. But again, this is the new world that we're in.
Right. Thank you very much. I really like your show. It's great.
Well, thank you. Thank you for calling in. And again, can we check back in with you and see what happens?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, that's great.
And they're supposed to test us again in 2 weeks.
Okay, so lady, I would like to talk to you off air too, maybe tomorrow. I would just like to ask you if it's like that, what is the situation? Well, I will get a hold of you, okay?
Okay, yeah, sometime after 5 tomorrow would be great.
Okay, are you Eastern or Pacific?
Pacific.
Okay, all right, thank you, perfect. All right, talk to you later, Lady Lazioli. All right. Again, what is the situation, where she's at, that would be required, and is that how everything is? So let me see. Okay, so John came in. Let's see here. He says that people are pulling people out of California homes. If you guys don't know who John X Army is, he has a following of 250,000 people on YouTube. So let's see here. Actually, I probably can just pull them on. Okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the next caller, and I'm going to give Dex the ability to call John so we can get him in here. Let's see here. Man, what a crazy time we live in, where you literally don't know what's going to happen next. Okay, John, Dex is going to connect you and put you on the show. So just stand by. It should be a few minutes. And then Dex, I sent you the phone number so you guys can get on. Again, John X Army has a following of about almost 250,000 on YouTube. So he is a longtime creator over there. And he says he's got some information. So we're going to get it here live here in a minute. Okay, so let's pull in Ray Jr. Ray Jr., you are live on Marfoogle News. What is going on?
Hey, Marf, how's it going today?
Absolutely great. So, Ray Jr., there's a subject in here, and it says that you are talking about Kumo and Gates and Schmidt.
Yes,
and RFID. What's going on with that?
Yes, during Governor Cuomo's press conference today, he brought up that he's, of course, aligning with Bill and Melinda Gates. And also, that's interesting enough because this is where the technology comes in, right? But it doesn't stop there. He brings in a Mr. Schmidt. And if you do research, he's into combining the biology, human beings with computers.
Oh, well, this has been a big subject. Go ahead.
Sorry?
It's a big subject going on right now, blending the human brain with computers. So, yeah.
Yes, the human brain, the human body with computers. And this is the induction, I believe, this year of the Mark of the Beast.
Well, so again, people think that it's in all different ways. Some think that we already have it with our cell phones in their pocket. Again, I guess everybody kind of knows it's coming with Real ID and with all of these. So you're saying if they do end up doing an RFID in human beings, that will be the mark. I guess to me, it's like there's already enough stuff that's biblically out there to say that we're there. I guess people are looking for that to say that is the beginning of the end or something. But I guess some of us just kind of think it's been bad for a while. So brain-computer interfaces, and we've covered this, and we're probably going to do a whole video on it just because it is so absolutely nuts. This is exactly what I was talking about just a few minutes ago, Ray Jr., the fact that this is now becoming reality, the technologies that we have. We're soon going to be able to control our car with our thoughts. Think about that.
Yeah. And there's one thing, too. They're going to make it cool. They're going to make it into a tattoo.
Well, we don't know that yet. Again, there's a lot of stuff. And they've talked about putting RFID in tattoos, about putting other things. Talked about barcodes, talked about injections, all sorts of things. So, again, it's a varying question. Is there anything else that you wanted to say real quick before you go, Ray?
Yes. Actually, there's. I'd like to show this with everyone else that's in this country. I noticed that there's been a big push with an upgrade in our power system, meaning that there's a lot of wooden power poles, right? And I thought this was kind of interesting because this started back in the fall before our winter up here in New York State. That they started putting down big planks so they could put in big vehicles so they could replace. Excuse me, sorry about that, folks. But they're replacing these wooden power poles with these gigantic brown metal steel power poles. So they're definitely reinforcing the infrastructure.
Yeah, and so if you guys are unclear of what he's talking about, just to show you the wood power poles, of course, they are actually getting replaced. And it's funny, John X Army covered this, both of us did, about a year ago, and they were replacing them and raising them by like 25, 30 feet. And a lot of people said, are they preparing for a flood? Some said that they were preparing for tanks and big equipment to be going through down the city streets because these things were so tall. It was like, why are they putting it so freaking tall? I don't know if you remember that, but last year, both of us talked about it. Many people did. And all over the country, they've switched them out. But some also think that it's just reinforcing our power grid, which is believable as well, considering, what we know from EMP Shield and some others about that. So, well, Ray Jr., thank you for calling in and thank you for the insight.
Yes, no problem, Mark. God bless you in Jesus Christ's name. Night.
Have a good night. So, again, there's a lot of stuff that we've actually covered. Okay, we've got John X Army. John X Army, you are on Marfoogle News. Do you remember covering those?
How are you doing, brother?
The telephone poles?
Listen, it's going down. The video proof, Dex hooked you up with a link. 2 hours ago, California health officials held a press conference live. We've got the video from the press conference. They said that as of today, 50 people have been hired in, this is only Ventura County, California at this moment in time. He said anyone who's been diagnosed with COVID-19, they will be going to their house with the police and removing them from the home and putting them in quarantine. He also said that they will be tracking down anyone that person has came in contact with and taking them to quarantine also. He said this is coming to every state. And this is a press conference. You should have a link to the video. It's the Central Bankers page right now. My video is going up. I'm uploading right now. It's going to be about 30 more minutes. So this is it. This is why they've got all the military equipment moved around and staged all over the country, because what they're doing is this California official, I'll repeat it, he said right now it's Ventura, California starting today, but this is rolling out to every single state. If someone in your home or you have been diagnosed with COVID, they are coming to get you and taking you to quarantine, and anyone you've been exposed to. This has been the plan. This is why everything was staged and put in place. They're going to force vaccinate. Listen, can you hear me?
Yeah, we're all listening.
No one has the right to ever unlawfully come into your home and take you or your spouse or your children away to quarantine. I don't care what medical health reason they have. No one should ever be allowed to force vaccinate you either. But
okay, dude, I know you do things differently on your channel, but we're trying to stay on air. You've said 3 filter words in 10 minutes.
Okay, I got you.
I get you that it's I want to just, I know you run stuff differently. I get what you're saying. So, but it looks like I see the video. It shows it.
Now listen. Let's play this is Central Banker's channel. What he did is he held his cell phone up to the press conference to record. He's not going, like I was just on the phone with him. You're not gonna get a copyright or anything like that. You should play the video right now.
So you know him, right? So you know Central Banker.
He's my friend.
Okay,
yes,
cool.
He's a Patreon. I just got off the phone with him.
Okay, and it's him holding it up to the Twitter, so we should be good. Okay, hold on.
Program today, which will certainly grow into something larger and larger, and that is a community contact tracing program. We've done contact tracing all along. That a contact is a person who's been exposed to someone that we document. Program. We've done contact tracing all along. That a contact is a person who's been exposed to someone that we document to have the COVID infection. When we find someone who has a COVID infection, those people are immediately isolated. But we also work with them to figure out who their contacts were. But the purpose of this program is to bring on people. We may bring on up to 50 or even more as the program grows and as we see the needs for it. As we do more testing, we will find more and more people who have COVID-19. And again, we'll isolate everyone.
Oh my God. Okay, we're going to get
every one of their contacts.
You guys we're going to link this so you guys can watch this. So they're literally doing exactly what he said, at least in Ventura. But again, now 5 times that filter word. Watch. You're going to see in the live stream underneath me, they're going to put the Wikipedia, and then this is not going to be shared. So they're marking channels. I don't know if you know this, John, and I know you gave up because you kind of whatever, but they're marking channels for deletion that say anything like this. So.
Yeah, well, the main thing he says in that video next is they're rolling this out to every state.
Oh, I know. Just like the facial recognition in Washington. We're the model for facial recognition. This is obviously the model for that.
Well, how can I phrase this to not flag the video? If we don't stand up for our neighbors and our friends and our family and protect and defend them, and defend the people who aren't woke, if we don't stop this from happening, it's going to be everybody. He just announced they're going door to door. They're rolling it out to every state. They're going to trace down anyone you've been in contact with if you have COVID, and they're going to take you to quarantine. This is the big event. It's beginning.
Well, I want to see. We're going to end up looking into this, John. As always, you know that I've had your back, and I've said how brave you are on YouTube. Again, I am actually pretty surprised, and I will end up talking about it. But You've definitely been putting out some crazy.
It's a bit shocking, isn't it, to see that?
It is, yeah.
To see that video, it's a bit shocking right at the moment, right?
Absolutely. There's a lot. John, on Saturday, we are doing a special stream. I would love for you to come there.
That'd be amazing. I'd love to.
All right. If you guys haven't checked, I'm going to pull up John's channel here. He is putting out a video. You guys can go over and check it out. Let's pull up John X Army. He's really easy to find. Again, he's almost at 250,000 subscribers over on YouTube. Let's see. John X Army. Bam. You've gone up another 1,000 since a couple days. You've been just going up and up and up because John has been doing videos, and John's basically like, I don't care what. And again, his passion is pretty hard not to let yourself get into. I've been sharing a lot of your stuff, by the way. Your recent stuff is absolutely like just balls to the wall. So
well, thank you. All right, well, Marf, I love you and your family, brother. I love all your subscribers. Everybody be safe, man.
All right, you too, John. You have a great night. Be safe.
I lost you. I can't hear you, Marf.
Oh.
All right, I love you.
All right, you too. Again, John has gone through multiple stages in his life. He's gone. He's had rough times. He's had good times. He's had, changes. No matter what you say, if you look at his recent videos, he's just like nothing stopping the guy. But I have to explain, and I've talked to him off camera too. The thing is I don't think he will be able to do it for much longer. I don't know how he's, for the last couple of weeks, he's done some pretty crazy stuff. We want to make sure that we vet everything before we do it. So again, make sure to do your own research. That is an actual press conference. So, but what does that mean? We have to go into it deeply before we say anything about it. I bet you he's right. So as far as the contact tracing thing, that's going to get worse and worse and worse. Again, what we want to do is we work really hard to watch this whole thing. We'll end up having that tag, and then we'll compare it to all of the other videos. Our goal is to reach as many people as possible. And we can communicate absolutely everything, 100% communication. Everybody knows exactly what we mean without using the same words. People say, some people say it's dumb that we do that. But again, there's not one single person in the audience that says, oh, I don't know what the heck you're talking about. They might when they first find our show, but after they watch a couple times, they understand exactly what we're talking about, and we don't have to say the key words because we're fighting an algorithm. We're not fighting human beings. We're fighting a computer that literally drops us when we say certain words. So I hope you guys understand that. All right, let's see here. But John doesn't. He's just boom. He's just putting it all out there. That's why I've respected his last 2 weeks, 3 weeks of videos. He's like basically just waiting to get booted, and that's just my honest opinion. So you guys should go over and follow him. He's definitely putting out explosive stuff for the last 2 weeks. Nikki Smith, what is going on? Who flung dung? No test, no app, no V scene equals no mark. Fight back with every living cell you own. Susan Donahue, Adam Dex, and Mod Squad, many thanks and much. New Mandela Effect. How do you spell the first name of President Adams' wife? Rhymes with Dolly, as in Dalai Lama. Her name was Dolly Madison. They've changed it to Dolly. I'm sorry, but I would have never known what President Adams' wife was, and apparently it was Dolly to Dolly. That is really interesting, Susan. I guess that is way above me on smart level, though. I can't tell you all the presidents' names, let alone their wives. So you are on a whole nother level, Susan. Love the Foogle fam. My grandson Ethan is 3 and keeps taking my phone to say hi to you. Could you please say hi to Ethan? Everyone please pray and repent. It says WV. WV, what is going on, Ethan? you can actually say hi to me if you want anytime. Your grandma is a wonderful woman, and she has my phone number, so you can talk to me if you'd like. So as far as John X Army stuff, as far as that, I just have to say let's see what's going on first, and then we will cover it in detail. I think, I don't think that's fake. I think that's real, but what does it entail? And they said that it's the model for the rest of the U.S. Have you been diagnosed? No? Then they're trying to say, well, then they'll probably make us say, okay, we need to stay in home. Probably making an example out of it. Matt Francis says YouTube video Plandemic documentary The Hidden Agenda Behind CV was deleted after going viral on Facebook. I knew that. I saw that one coming. Northern Tiger Japanese Samurai Warrior Mask. That's what it was. The mask that those guys were wearing while trying to take out Maduro were Japanese Samurai Warrior masks. Herd Bowl says congrats on GP, and as always does a weird number. Thank you for the $11 super chat. Awesome. Plumber Bill, thank you for following. JR Pale Horse, thank you again. Archives the Truth, thank you once again. That was absolutely awesome. Thank you for supporting us. We'll see what happens. I would say that we need some callers from Ventura to call in tomorrow night. I would love, if you're in Ventura, California, to let us know what is going on the street so we actually know what is going on. Claudia H.M., thank you for the ice creams. Nameless Block, Gone Girl, Maui Racing Realtor, Jay Beal, Jafarm, RV Living, Bear Lover, Auntie M, Laura Griffith, Moxie Lady, thank you for the diamonds. Life is short and Cutthroat Mom. What is going on? You guys are all here tonight. Read 55. Holy moly. Nurse Betty. Sly the Coffee. Thank you guys for the Ninja Guineas. Our hospital said to expect rounds of retesting too. You're not alone. And then says, Sly the Coffee says, so what if we are forever carriers? Does that mean we just stay away? Simulation 7. What is going on? Haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for sticking around for almost 3 years. And then Real Seb, if you guys haven't checked out Real Seb, thank you you don't have to show any love to me. Real Seb, I hope that you get GP as well. Thank you so much for you supporting me as well when you are there too. You're trying to get it as well. So thank you so much. And then Shy the Coffee, Gina QT, Sunshine B. So that was a perfect end call. Again, you guys can check out John X Army. He has been growing extremely fast again. As you guys know, YouTube took a bunch of subs from a lot of different people. He just went up by another 3,000 because of the literal just no filter whatsoever. So he might not be around for long, so you better go sub before he's not. Dex. Obviously, it is getting crazy out here. What do you think of that?
That's some interesting news. I want to listen to that video in detail. So, and just so everybody knows, that video, I don't remember whose channel it was on, but it was a friend of John's. That video, as well as John's channel, will be on the website momentarily. So you guys can go check it out when the show's over.
I just wonder why we haven't heard anything about. This must have been today. I guess why were we blindsided with that?
Yeah, it sounds like it was a press conference from today, and I don't know if it was covered on the mainstream, and it looks like this was somebody's cell phone. But at the same time, I don't have to go back and look at the video. Was it a cell phone of another video?
No, it looked like it was on Twitter. If you look, it has retweets. So he was holding it up to the computer, taking a video of Twitter. So Ventura, and then we'll have to figure out what the position of that gentleman is. But, it's the whole world is changing around us. So it is our job to make sure you know about it. I'm glad we got him in. Let's see here. Up next, we have short outro. We are going to be hosting Ann Lynn on the D Live channel. So if you haven't been on D Live yet, this is a good time to come over. It will be a small thing, and then I'm going to be actually calling into Ann Lynn's show real quick. So I appreciate all of you guys that have supported. I'm going to make sure to shout out everybody. By the way, top contributors last night. Amy R. Huge support last night. 17,000 lemons. Absolutely nuts. End Times with 10,000 lemons. Chrysaris with 3,000. Space Monkey. And Tuck Pup, Kahaja Fly Girl, Muscle Whisperer, Ollie Pop, Lachelle, and Forever Charlie. You guys, thank you guys so much for supporting. Again, all of the super chats will end up being on the next scroller. Thank you guys all for supporting us. So have a great night. I know people are nervous about that kind of stuff, but please, let's get in all of the information, and then we will be possibly putting out a video as well, depending on what this ends up being. And if you guys want to protect yourself, EMP is something we've talked about a lot. I won't go into it tonight, but again, go to marfooglenews.com/EMP to protect yourself against all three phases of it. You're going to need your car, you're going to need your generator, so make sure to check it out. Now it is officially time for a shoutro. It's not an outro, it's not a shout out. It's a shoutro. Have a good one.
Say with my Breeze 11, proud Canadian and jam a rapping. About to go with my engine and I'm a rapping. About to bring it back like a Mr. 11. I rock steady with the job farm on TM. Bring it right back from the brains down. About to do it back and you know that we be doing. Miss Marliston and Jar K King. And the St. Greg and Mr. King. And the Meme 521s do it. Bring it back, do it. Yabba dabba sexy with the barefoot. Last snafu snaps in the proud grammar. DD, triple D, 6 hour and the mamma. Bring it back down these one map, mama jamma. Glow angel, gonna go say Nana. I love beagles and the cat eye. Check a wall and you know I gotta get the T-boy with the Penelope. Gotta bring it access to a price and you see me. We'll be on the pandemic. We'll be on the pandemic. A Mendoza with the thank you and the rub bellies. Menace, I'm about to go back and run and get it in the Uber girl, and the Uber girl, and the secret DJ Blaze, JK, and the Yakka Bro. Hey, lazy new lady, wanna bring her around like an ATM, baby. I really wanna rock for life, but the Seraphinia's gonna go back around and never gonna let go of ya. Enchanted by you, gonna hit it back, Laura Griffith and you. Southern and a true chick, gonna bring it light. It's short and so am I, so right. Still let it on now, bring it back around. Gonna be hidden like a Yeti. Gonna go back in a kiss at Lily. Gonna bring back like I'm made from jelly, but not jello, cause I ain't Cosby. I'm gonna bring it like I'm rocking. He's a bad boy, heckler games in the WV, so CCL, and the rest is a history. Baby girl 7347, almost older as I know, mass and 11 in the Jessica with the 16-9 and a bunch of letters that I can't see in mine. On this scene with the Shastina, bring it right back now, passes on greener. Third eye open and I bring it down, knowing in the KPB with the back smash blowing. I'm a water going back now, we flowing with the third eye raving and the big bad hole. Heading like a hole and you gotta go. We the one need a 541 Pogo Loco. Heaven ain't easy, Jules and the Foogle fam. Bring back round and you know that we be circle man.
Be a bad mascot, take the mask off. Be a bad mascot, take the mask off.
Hey, Stephen Diaz and the bring it down. I'm about to go back like I went up and down with the selfie-pro-Canadian and proud grandma. And a Tiffany now, I don't know no grandma. Bring it down now like a bad mama jamma. And Angela gonna bring it back like Angela. One more mom and a comeback Tom and a bring it like Mr. Izzy Bomb. Be safe on with the Felicia, got the proud Canadian and I'm looking right at you. We're the woman and the Angela M. Bringing back lady namely the Nookum Graham.
Everybody now, I go back round. I'm about to do it back round, we ground. I'm about to freestyle flow like now. Melody, come back round. About to do back now, do them that. Come right back and you know that we say. Everybody wanna go back round. We slice it, ice it, come on, price it. I'm about to hit back round, now you like it. I'm about to go back, do like, oh.
Everybody wanna go to the wall bang. Melody, I take a war, yeah, you're the devil. Sexy with the bring it back around, but remember, Jim, a wow, wow, wow.
Be a bad mascot, take the mask off. 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 Gotta go back round and know it. About to go back round now with Joe. About to do it like Van Gogh, bit fall. Bring back Mr. Cat and no. Puff up back with go back round. My head back now you already know. La 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 la. Hi. looking outside of my window, seeing a crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse roams. Looking outside of my window, seeing a crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse roams. Looking outside of my window, seeing a crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse roams. Looking outside of my window, seeing a crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse roams. Looking outside of my window, seeing a crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse roams. Marfoogle News, where are you? Only news I use. Marfoogle News, Marfoogle News, where are you? Only news I use. Marfoogle News, Marfoogle News, where are you? Only news I use. Marfoogle News, roams. Looking outside of my window, seeing a crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse roams. Looking outside.
Remember, the luckiest followers tonight: Kelly 2334, the nameless block, Angela 4110, I love Beagles, JoJo A123. Thank you. Have a wonderful night, Puss in Boots, happening easy, Sunshine B, I love Beagles, Jessica, and Checkawa. I appreciate you. Liz LaMarche, thank you, says, what a show. Many thanks, Marf and Dex. Mindy Bauman, thank you so much for the super chat. Melo J, God bless each and every one of you. We have to take a stand for our freedom before it's too late. One voice can turn into a billion. A billion. Billion, billion. Who Dung Flung, I love and I appreciate ya. Thank you.
Marfoogle News, where are you? Only news I use. Marfoogle News, Marfoogle News, where are you? Only news I use. Marfoogle News. Got to go back to right, going back and by my side, serenity, big high. Got to go side, gas electric and in lead, island show and rest of them. Got to go back round and now you know. Try 3 times you get in the disco, one working, one hell. Now lady green eyes will who help you now? What the rock gotta go back down. There's a Betty and an end time now. Got to go back and say it down. Gonna bring it just like this. Oh, I'm telling Amy, got to call me la. One more gonna say them back around. Amy, aka Amy the Sandy. You say no cowbell, I say I just waiting for someone to ask for the cowbell. We love the cowbell. And something got to go down the go high. You bring it back with the more high. This man Allen gotta go back now. We shine and we slide that coffee. Bring it back round now. We poppin'. Zippy moons now we talking. Gotta bring that April Osborne. Gotta love the way that you got now. Bad grammar and a tempted by you. Wanna go back right now. You buy you encrypted TV on the GP. I like that. Gonna put samples. Gotta go back down, and you know what we do now. Got to go down. Oh yeah. Gotta hit it down, gotta go back round. You gotta go back and you go up down. Round them more and I need that talk. Johnny, Judgy, damn it, oh. A damn it for the cowbell. Got to bring it back. Gotta go back around. You gotta go back and back around. Gotta hit it back up and down. You'll never know now. Every time that we go back, and you know that we gotta do it just like you ever had that. With the mafia, take a wild pop Satire with the back when the rack. I'm about to go back around, and you know that we gotta go all the way back home. We stuck and we can't do nothing, we can only look outside. Do the way that we go and the way we flow and the rip down, gotta go to back down. Come down, it's just me. Gotta go back around and we fishing for seas with the S Mendoza and the girl and the Priscilla Tower Wesley. Gotta say bye, and you know that we've got to go. A Rubbermaid man, and you know that we know. I just like the way that you go. Gotta tune into the Anlin show. Bring you right back, and you know that we know. La 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 la. La 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 la. Does that Anlin know that she has to be live for me to be able to host? All right, guys, I hope you join me with the Ann Lynn Show, which we'll be hosting right now.